Now, if you're like me and you think of a leisurely way to spend a Saturday afternoon, when you hear the words pitch and putt, you may be surprised to find how competitive this sport is and indeed how skillful. Let's see how it's really done. Recently, the Roadstone Sports and Social Club showcased Ireland's and indeed some of the world's best pitch and putt players for this year's Gents National Stroke Play Championships. With some of these players representing Ireland in the upcoming European Championships in Sardinia, there were a lot of competitors eager to prove their worth in a sport that you may be surprised to hear has Ireland ranked #1 in Europe.
Well, pitch and putt is a game that's played on a course, as you can see outside. It's played with two clubs. It's a golf ball, and the object of the game is to get the golf ball from the teeing ground onto the green, into the hole, and as minimal amount of shots as possible. It's similar to golf, but it's not golf, and that's the key thing that people have to remember. There are technical differences in the sports. Pitch and putt is much more finesse as opposed to power, which golf is. Pitch and putt, I personally believe, mentally there's a bigger pressure, especially in a competition like this, the National Stroke Play, on players to perform to the highest level than there would be, I would believe, in golf. I think in golf you've more time to relax and gather your thoughts. In this game, it is intense. From the word go, from the morning right to the end of the competition.
Pitch and putt, it's a great game for all ages. We would have somewhere in the region of 200 members here, and of those 30 to 40 would be juveniles. So we have people from the age of 10 up until we people play here in their 80s. So it's a game you can play all your life. Short game, not too stressful unless you're playing very well and you think you're going to win something. But it's a mix of a whole load of talents, a whole load of skills.
If you'd have asked me 10 years ago what the future for international pitch and putt held, I wouldn't have been able to predict it as it is. From 1999 we developed what was called the European game and the formation of the European Pitch and Putt Association. We have played 4 European Championships, 99, 2001, 2003, 2005. I'm delighted to say that Ireland has won all 4 of those previous championships. Ireland will start favourites, there's no two ways about that. They'll start favourites in Italy in October. I have to say the other countries have developed their pitch and putt at a rapid pace. I mean, countries like Holland are really, really good now. Other countries like Catalonia, which is part of northern Spain, they have adopted it near enough to being a national sport around the Barcelona area. They enter teams into it. They're very, very strong. And there are more teams. Every year teams have come. We've gone from 5 teams up to now, this year there'll be 11 countries taking part in the European Championship. And yes, we will start favourites, but no one will be resting on any laurels. We will have to work hard to win the European Championship.
A lot of this year's hype centred on the fact that Cork's Ray Murphy was going for an unprecedented 4th title in a row, making him without doubt one of the best, if not the best player in the world. What is it that you love about it?
It's just a competition. It's the competition against all the top players, especially coming up to Dublin or coming up to Meath, or just playing up the country against all the top players. It just gives me a great buzz out of it.
So who are you looking out for now this weekend?
Well, there's a few fellas there playing in the second half, second session there, so hopefully they'll have a few mishaps and I might be still leading after the 36.
How did you get into this, and why pitch and putt over golf or any other sport?
Well, I suppose I lived near a course, and so my father was kind of into it, so I kind of got into it with him and playing, and then played a lot of it kind of growing up. And so it's ease, kind of accessibility for me personally, and then obviously the cost factor, because when you're 10, 15 years, like I started when I was 8, so it was 15 years ago. Ireland wasn't an overly wealthy country, so it was tough enough to get into golf courses, and a lot of them there was kind of waiting lists and stuff. So kind of, and personally, so now that I'm into it, I think pitch and putt's kind of a better game. It's kind of the controlled part of golf, like, because anybody can get up and belt the ball, but it's 120 yards in, 100 metres in. That's the big shots, important shots that win you competitions, and that's what pitch and putt really helps you.
So would you do this every day?
I've been trying this summer, so I just finished college there in May, and I've really been putting in a lot of practice over the last 3 months, so I've been playing nearly every day, and I suppose it's really standing to me now. Like, over the last few weeks I won a couple of competitions and then lying in 2nd place in the national championship. I just can't ask for much better than that.
Well, this is the beauty of pitch and putt, and I think it's one thing pitch and putt can take a bow on, is that the best players in Ireland are considerably near enough to the best players in the world. But on any given weekday in their local club, you can have the best player in the world line it up with a beginner in a 4-ball on a wet night, and that's just the way it works, and that's the beauty of this sport.
With a 3-way tie for the lead, it was the closing holes of the competition that held attention in this year's event. Both Derek Courtney and James Carroll had made up a 2-shot deficit and were tied with Ray Murphy on 22 under par. Carroll, playing 1 hole ahead of Murphy and Courtney, agonisingly missed the final hole, leaving the path clear for one of the other two. After producing the shot of the year when his ball landed 6 inches from the cup, practically guaranteeing him a birdie, it was Murphy who was ahead by a 1-shot lead going into the last. When a second shot produced a similar outlook, the crowd knew they were witnessing history in the making. Courtney, however, didn't disappoint either when his birdie attempt dived into the cup. A well-deserved second place, but it was Ray Murphy's moment, and with a standing ovation, one obviously shared by everyone who was there. Murphy taking the double-double and the title for the 4th time in a row. Well done, guys.